Hello, all. We see you. We see you too. Hopefully, we can get out here. You should not put any God before me. All right. So here we go. So my last video, I was talking about why are black people voting for Trump. Why are black people voting for Trump? TV's cricket. So first of all, I probably should have defined black and what I mean by black. So this video will be about that itself. This video will be about what is my definition of black, how does that, correlate with being black in America, and I would probably say along the lines of our voting paths, and also why did blacks fall in love with Obama and why they're seemingly not falling in love with Kamala. So, first things first is this. First things first, up close and personal with you, is what is black? Many people will tell you, like, say it's a culture, but we're not talking about many people. I'm going to be talking about myself and how I identify and how I see others identify as black. So, the first thing is what I think black is. Black is if you had parents that were both black, and then you came out and you're black and you're kind of looking like me. This could be many different shades, but what constitutes this as being black is that you were born, let's say, more or less in, let's say, a struggle, right? And this is my definition. Probably could be wrong. And you were born in the struggle, and also that you're, as they say, ADOS, ascendants of slaves. So to me, that is my definition of black. Like I said, could be wrong. Come for me in the comments. Now, does that mean that a person who is mixed is not black? I will let you define that. But I feel like culturally what they're saying is like, what I'm saying is you have two black parents that are descendants of slaves and that are, so therefore that makes you black, right? Now, the tricky part is this. Tricky part is, what does that mean here in America? And am I black or am I American? So to me is, I feel that all of us are black, right? But to be honest, we are Americans. And I would say that, gonna get me a lot of trouble, that we are Americans first. I said it again. We are Americans first. Might be confusing here. Now, what I mean when I say that we are Americans first, we are born in America and this is our country. But there's issue to that. The issue to that is, God, this is gonna be long, is that yes, we are Americans, but we're also black. So we're black in America. So a lot comes with that. And I feel like that's where the divide will come between, let's say, some white folks, or I won't even say white folks, people who are not from this country and not here, and let's say they'll have the same struggle, that they don't understand when I say that we are Americans, but we're black in America. And so being black in America comes with a lot of stigmatisms, right? Or things, forget the vocabulary. And a lot of these things, they consist of slavery, right? Get over it. They consist of slavery. And what I'm saying is, that is okay. That is a part of America. Where I feel that people who doesn't share your same complexion or your skin tone, they say that that is an excuse. No, let's deal with that. We are blacks in America, and slavery is a part of it, right? And like I said before, don't ever use this as, let's say, victim, right? Be aware of the situation. We're black in America, and there was slavery, there was redlining, there was all this. But knowing that, governing to that. So if it's me, I say I'm black, I am American, and I'm black, but I'm aware that I am a black person living in America. What does that mean? So I know that sometimes, and you're gonna say different stats, right? Sometimes if I'm driving, this is a more up class car. If I'm driving, the police are gonna pull me over. They have to. Black in America. I don't take that out on the police. I take that out on I am black in America. There are certain stuff that was afforded to others, and that's not necessarily to me. There was certain stuff that was afforded to others, not necessarily to me. And like that's okay. I know I have to work hard, and I have to work harder. Well, sometimes I really feel that people on the other side, they don't understand that part. They don't understand the part that um, because they don't look at me, people are not going to look at me and judge them in the same light. And I get that. That's okay. Like I said before, I was projectionist, used to be a projectionist, and I used to work on, like I say, closely around. And in that field, there was very few people that looked like me. So when I was coming up the ranks, I would always see other people that looked like me, and I would offer them like that opportunity. Come on, brother. Now, I didn't have anything against the other people, but I'm like, come on, brother, because a lot of times people who look like me, they don't understand that we can do that. I'm gonna tie that into Obama. Obama, good. I'm gonna tie that into Obama, and I'm sorry, I'm going to you as well. And so when I would offer it to them, they would be shocked, right? I was like, you can do this. Sometimes we got to be told because the lineages from slavery to this. If you believe something that you can't do, blah 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 blah, you are going to exhibit their behaviors. So once I did that, I used to bring people. But when I that was in San Francisco, and that was in San Francisco. And when I went from San Francisco to LA, I worked at a place and was working with some old Hollywood cats, and they were probably one of the most racist people out there. And the thing about it is, I was okay. I'm from Arizona. Sorry, Arizona. They would N-word nigger with the hard R. And since I am an American but black living in America, I was okay with that. You're okay with racism? No, I didn't necessarily say I was okay with racism. What I just alluded to earlier, if you know this, then you govern accordingly to it. And since I was able to govern accordingly to it, I was okay to deal with these situations. I know that there was two things I can do. I can complain, or I could deal with it. Many people deal with it however they choose to. I chose to like deal with it. So then when I went to my next job was similar, and then these guys, they shared some similar ideas. One guy told me that HIV, Africans gave it because they were sleeping with monkeys in the whole 9 yards. And and people were like, they told you that? Yes. Yes, they told me that. But I was learning, right? So two things happened. Yes, I'm black. Yes, I'm American. I'm American that is black that lives in America. And so since I would probably say it's very rare where I would run into people that wouldn't necessarily say something crazy. And people say, like, you're sensitive. No, I expect them. It's like when they say racial profiling with the police, they're saying racial profiling with the police, right? And it's funny to me because, like, if you are part of a certain neighborhood and all those people look the same, that's not racial profiling. You're just profiling. And I understand that. Now, I understand that when I go into another neighborhood right? And people are doing the same thing to me. They should they should do that. And what I mean by they should do that is because it's very rare, even though Martin Luther King said the contents of their character, right? It's very rare that they see someone, say myself or others, not an excuse for them, myself or others, and say living where I live or where I'm at. And the English is not necessarily that great, but with that said, that's very rare for them. So I'm not giving them a pass. I expect that. Now that maybe probably hurts me a little bit deeper later because I automatically think that, right? I don't judge them for that. Um, I judge them because I say, hey, you're were raised in this environment. If you're raised in this environment, this is how you should be. Now, with that said, is when Obama came around, right? When Obama came around, and he was running for president. I don't know if you guys remember. I believe it could have been the 99, 2000, 2001 when he gave that speech. Everyone saw Obama. We're like, oh, we were hit. Like we loved that. I mean, we really loved Obama. Like we loved Obama because one of the reasons why we loved Obama, like I said, like we've been through a lot. I don't wear it on my shoulders. I expect it, and you just work through it regardless. Everyone's going to tell you this or that. They're sensitive on the whole 9 yards. But when you saw that, you're like, okay, hey, he's one of one of us, right? He's had my struggle. He's had this. And on to the other side here, on the other side, who's necessarily not like us, immigrants. You wanted to come over here. Sorry, but with that said, you identify with that struggle because we're like, okay, we looked at him. We didn't necessarily know everything. We're like, okay, he's a descendant of slaves, right? A descendant of slave, which we couldn't find out he wasn't. But anyways, so you just said that, and you looked at his wife, and you're like, okay, cool. They come from here, and they got out. We need ones that get out. A lot of the times, we feel that when whether it be someone, let's say, who doesn't look like me, they're like, well, we have the same struggle. But a lot of times, your struggle is a little bit different because if someone see you putting that 1 foot forward, they're going to say, "Oh, look at that guy; he's doing great." When someone seeing another person putting 1 step forward, they're like, "Glad that nigga did that." Anyways, because if he didn't, he was going to die. But anyway, so that's what I mean. So when we saw Obama, we just identified with Obama, right? Because like there's a group of us. We're not a monolith. That's what I keep saying. We're not a monolith. You just learned the meaning of that word. So the upper, let's say the upper class who do not want to be associated, that's associated with black, i.e., black culture. We're like, okay, yay, he's our guy because he jumped through all the hurdles. Not saying that everyone doesn't have hurdles, because people do have hurdles and they have to get through them. But you do feel it's a little bit different if you came, i.e., from like, i.e., the struggle. And not saying that other folks don't have struggle. You know, people are on welfare, they're on this, they're on that. So when he came, Barack was our guy. And we loved him because like, and we're like, oh, you see, like, we've been told you can't be president, you can't be this. Not only not just told, like we never saw it. Like if you never see, like it's like, once we saw that a black person could be the president of the United States, that's really like no excuse. Granted, you shouldn't have any excuses anyway, but that's really no excuse. So we fell in love with that. Okay, now let's get into the meat and gritty of this, where I kind of feel that, i.e., going back to my previous post, where the Democrats kind of lost, let's say, like some of the black males, right? Is that we identified with Barack because we felt that he was black. We also identified with Barack because there was something black authentic about him, and that what was black authentic about him was, you know, who they told us he was and his story, but also what even cemented that. Like one of the smartest things that the Democratic Party could have ever done was give him Michelle Obama, right? I know some of you Republicans believe that she's a man. Oh well. So, but what that did was, um, in the black community, we do love black women, although they're crazy. Even though many of us will marry outside of our race, but we looked and seen what our mothers done, and we can identify with that. And the difference I feel that with Kamala is that no black males look at her like she's a black woman and she reminds them of their mothers, right? No black males looks at her and says, hey, she reminds us of our mothers, right? And I feel that that's what helped Barack Obama out, even though a lot of different stuff is coming out. And so since Kamala doesn't have that, Kamala, saying her name wrong, I feel that she's going to always struggle, because it's like when Barack Obama came out, he might have been mixed, but you saw, boom, they say a black woman with them from Chicago, the whole 9 yards. We kind of know her story and what she did and what she accomplished. And then Kamala comes out. She has her husband. We cannot identify that. Women can identify with Kamala, and which they should, but the males cannot, and the black community cannot, because there's simply a disconnect. And to me, uh that's sad, right? That's sad. And so therefore, when coming back to my original, when I say, are black people voting for Trump, like I said just now, what they can identify with Michelle Obama is now they're identifying with Trump. And let me just get this straight here. Do I, like I said before, do I think Trump's a great person? No. Do I think Trump is even necessarily for the poor? That answer is no. Do I think Trump is a Christian? And that answer is even no. But I keep trying to tell you, it has nothing to do with me. Like, I'm in conversations like all the time with certain people that I'm talking to, in conversations all the time with certain people that I'm talking to, right? And I'm telling them this. I'm telling them, I said, this has nothing to do with me. And they call me stupid, ill-informed, and all that good stuff. Yes, I'll take all that. But what Trump is doing is working. What I'm saying is he's identifying with the working class. He's identifying. How? He's a billionaire. The McDonald's thing is stupid. Yes. But I'm like saying, y'all Democrats, y'all done missed the boat. Like, what? So what I see is like, it's really about class. Anyway, number one, it's really about class. But what I'm saying is, I'm like, he's talking to, when I say me, I'm not telling you who I'm moving for. When I say me, it's like, I wake up 4 o'clock early in the morning to do Uber. Does the Dems care about that? I have vendors or people that work for me, drivers, waking up early in the morning. I have people laying down concrete. I have people painting stadiums. I have people doing everything of the meat and grits. I like that. For building this country. And nobody is talking to them. That's what I mean. You guys are missing that boat. If you want to call them stupid because Trump says he's going to do that, and they've waited 3 years for Kamala and Joe Biden to do something, and they haven't, and they want to vote for Trump, that makes them stupid? That makes them stupid because of the gas, because of rent, because of wages, because of all these things that they feel that you guys are crapping on them. Why did the red pill blow up? Why did Andrew Tate become so big? Because you are not listening to the people who build this country. And those people are saying, you know what? I don't like that message. I don't like that message. Right? I'm still trying to work, and you guys are paying immigrants. You're paying them. And if you want to call me stupid, call me stupid. If you want to call me ill-informed, call me ill-informed. If you want to call me uneducated, call me uneducated. I will be that. But at the end of the day, when you turn on that light, that electrician, he's voting for Trump. When you flush that toilet, that plumber, he's voting for Trump. When you go outside and you need to get your grass cut, you know who's cutting your grass? Someone who's voting for Trump. You know who's delivering your food? Someone who's voting for Trump. You know who built your building? Someone who's voting for Trump. So if you want to say these people are stupid, by all means, say that they're stupid, say that they're retarded, and say that they don't get it. But you know what? They're voting for Trump. And who knows? It might work, it might not work. But then yourself, look at yourself. Look at yourself and tell yourself, that person, he's doing all this. Still, regardless, who's ever in office, he's doing all that. He's going to continue doing that. But he sees Trump as a savior. Like I started in the beginning, no false gods. He sees him as that because you know what? He's speaking to them. Your party is not speaking to them. Your party is not speaking to them. Will tariffs go up? Yes. Will I still have to go out and rake my own yard? Yes. Well, LA don't have a yard. So this is what I mean, right? Now, what does that have to do with being black? Really nothing. And the reason why I started out that way is because that a lot of black people are leaving the Democratic Party, and they're going to the other side. But to me, there's really no difference, right? There is a difference this time because like who they're talking to, and if you're a black worker, then jump the other side for this election. Don't let any party determine who you are. Just get out there, go work, but realize one party is talking to you and the other party is expecting you to do what you've normally done. And at the end of the day, you can't really necessarily keep your faith in the party system or the government. And I always say, like, go work for yourself, because people are going to generally take advantage of you. And that's the one thing that's great about community. The great thing about community is we can kind of not do that. But yeah, with that all said, we only have like 10 days, 11 days, or whatever it is. I'm excited. I guess you can call me excited. This video is long. But I'm excited because I like strategy though, right? I love these people at the job. They come here, they come and they talk to me. And I said, look at them dead in the eye. I don't care who you're voting for. Like the people across in there, I don't care. Don't care. But what does kind of kill me when both sides, like who's this little pimp jumping on Eminem? If Eminem wants to vote for Kamala, cool. Beyonce, cool. And vice versa. If people want to vote for Trump, cool. And I think they try to demean you. They try to say you stupid. Try to say you that. Why? Because they don't agree with you. We come from different places, and because of our childhood, affects how we think. We've all had situations that happened to us when we were younger that persuades our decision making now. So like I'm saying, whoever you want to vote for them. I love it. And granted, I had two cameras and I ended up looking at this one. I don't know why. Because I guess in my face, the LA, go Dodgers. We'll see if we win. So that's it. Peace. Love all of you guys. It is what it is. So what am I? So you can say that I'm an American that is black. So I'm an American that is black, who is aware what being black in America is like. Whether I'm wealthy, which I'm not, whether I'm working class, kind of, whether I'm poor. All those different definitions of black has things that comes along with it, and I'm aware of that. So that's where I'm at. Also Christian. Struggling. Lord, you hear me. This is for you. Lord, you hear me. Brother is struggling, but that's who I am. And that's what people have to understand. We are all different. Doesn't mean that we're complaining, and doesn't mean that there is no victim blaming. We are all different. And I love y'all. Y'all get out and vote. It'll be interesting. Who do I think is going to win? I do think Trump is going to win. And when and if he does, it'll be the dim sides to get people back. Because if he doesn't do anything that he says, right? If he doesn't do anything that he says, all we know now is she is in office now. She could have at least did something. Peace. Love y'all.